Well, hello everybody, it's Steve Moore here from Run More, out on location today talking about the new Asics Novablast 4. This was my first time running in a Novablast. I've actually had a bunch of experience running in a variety of Asics shoes over the years, but the Novablast was one that just sort of went under my radar, or just too many shoes to try out. I didn't get around to it. So this is my first experience with this sort of lineup, and I was very excited about it. First off, because it looks awesome. It's nice when you get to pick out any fun color you want and you land on a really fun color and it arrives and it's even more fun than you expected. And that's how I felt with this shoe. Right out of the gate, let's go through some of the specs on this shoe. This is a high cushion neutral shoe. It has an 8mm drop. On the men's side, it weighs 9.2 ounces. On the women's side, it weighs 7.9 ounces. This is classified under Asics bounce category. So this is a neutral trainer, a high cushion shoe that is a little more responsive than a lot of the other shoes in their platform. And just like you'd expect, there's stuff that is more responsive and more explosive in the bounce category, and there's other stuff in the racing side that's a little more bouncy and racy feeling this, but this is meant as an everyday trainer that has some more responsiveness to it. This features Asics Flight Foam Plus Eco midsole, so this is a responsive, bouncy, and made from more recycled materials, including the upper, which is 75% recycled materials. So not only is it good for the environment on one side, it's also going to break down much faster after its duration and life cycle. So that's a pretty good feeling to it. This shoe is built on the idea of a trampoline feeling, and I thought was interesting too on this shoe. You can almost feel like they have a little bit of extra something here on the midfoot to give you a little more spring and toe up, which I was feeling and I was enjoying very much. I think one of the things that I really first noticed with this shoe, it's really comfortable. You know, it's a stupid thing to say in a running shoe that you want it to be comfortable, but some shoes are just more comfortable than others as a walking around or retired shoe. And I have used this shoe for both purposes in the last couple of weeks. Like, I purposely wore it to the running conference because I wanted to have a couple days of heavy use in it. But I've also done some medium distance runs, a little bit of a longer run in it, and some speed stuff in it to really kind of put this shoe through its full paces before we talked about it today. Slipping it on for an all-day conference, it really was spectacular. It's got a nice deep heel cup to it, and for my BFF, Big Fat Foot, it actually fit it perfectly well. They talk about the new stretchy upper in this material. Again, not having run in the previous Novablast, I don't have a good point of reference, but for me, having a wider forefoot who deals with bunion issues and just all kinds of great foot stuff, this shoe fit and accommodated it very well. Running in it, I at first was a little disappointed because of her shoe that had blast in the name. I didn't feel like I was getting tons of blast, but actually the more that I've been running into it, I actually think it fits what it's trying to do very well, especially when you compare it to some of the other comps out there. I was thinking about other shoes in sort of this category, and it almost isn't fair to categorize it with some of the other shoes that they're listing as comp shoes to it. I think first off, it doesn't have as much bounce as some of the higher premium bounce shoes. You know, we've been talking about this new premier performance trainer category, and there's some shoes that this shoe just quite doesn't have as much bounce to. But those shoes are more like $170, $180 shoes. So for $140, I guess the amount of bounce per dollar or whatever you want to look at, it's actually very good. When I look at other shoes in this $140 price point that have more of a responsive midsole, that are meant to be a little more high performance trainers in this price point, they either have more bounce but way less cushion, but this has way more cushion to it. So I think I would not walk around an all-day conference, for example, in some of the other $140 responsive trainer shoes that may have more bounce. So it may be able to perform them higher on one side, but not on the other. You know, so this shoe is definitely, to me, closer on the cushion side than it is on the responsive side, but it is still responsive. You know, if you put this on against another $140 neutral trainer from Asics, for example, like if you were trying to compare this to an Asics Cumulus, which is sort of also in that, you know, a cushy shoe that you can use for all day and run in, this shoe feels way better. It's definitely got a little more bounce to it. That trampoline-y feel that you have through the midfoot here is definitely more apparent. But you know, I think for a cushion shoe, this shoe feels a little bit better, and it definitely is lighter and it definitely is springier. I felt the best in this shoe running sort of like an everyday I don't want to say tempo-y, but like a good clip shoe. You know, I wasn't plodding in this shoe. I wasn't doing speed work, which I did in this shoe as well. Just sort of like an up-tempo every day, going out for, say, let's say doing like 6 to 8 miles, and you want to be feeling efficient and fast, not racing in it, not going slow either. This was a great shoe for that sort of distance. And again, it was also a great shoe for all day wear with its high cushion and high comfort. So for $140, I think this shoe checks a lot of the marks. Yeah, right out of the gate, I was a little disappointed in how bouncy it was, but when I really started digging into what this shoe was trying to do and the price point and what other shoes it was trying to align itself with, I thought this shoe sort of far exceeded what it was trying to do and the value that you're going to get out of this shoe. And I would also say from an Asics standpoint, from somebody who's run in a variety of Asics shoes, I always find their durability is very good, and from the outsole and to the midsole of the shoe, I find the durability on their products are very good. So I'd expect nothing less from this. I also could tell from shoe that I'm running a bunch of times now, walked in, it looks good, it feels good. See, we're out here in the natural environment. People are just running. That's what we deal with. I thought this shoe did a great job of trying to check the boxes that they wanted to for the value, the price point, the comfort, and all the things you can do in the shoe. I really was quite happy with it. And again, it looks great. Not that it means everything, but it always looks good. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions on the Asics Novablast 4, feel free to leave it down below. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. And if you like this video, found it informative, found it entertaining, do me a favor and like and subscribe. I would certainly appreciate it. It'll help us find some new people out there. And if you want to purchase this shoe or any other fine shoe on our website, go ahead and enter the promo code RUNMORE, RUNMOORE, down at the link below to our website. You'll save 10%. We'll ship it out for free. Thanks as always. And if you're in the greater Westminster, Maryland area, stop on by and say hello to our shop. Thanks a lot. See you out there.